one long blow means the rest are happening. This shows how the community is protecting each other. There's also political tension. Trump is threatening